Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and thank you for joining me as we talk about a possible playstyle for Mr. Goha within Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. So if you're a believer that Mr. Goha is going to be a more comedic villain, then here is the video where we talk about the goofy playstyle that we could possibly see him use. Bearing in mind, we know really nothing about this character as of recording this video. We've only seen 5 episodes of 7s, and all we've seen from this character is ha ha ha. Not a great impression, but here we go. The information is very limited. So when you mix together comedy and villainy, I personally think of luck. I don't know why, that's just the first thing that pops into my head. And when you think about ace cards, they don't necessarily have to be monsters. So for this video, I'll be looking at a ace card that is actually a spell card, because we've seen characters before use spells and traps as their ace card. For example, we've got lightning with judgment arrows. So for Mr. Goha's ace, I can see it being a spell card that is of the continuous variety that brings back the dice mechanic. This is a mechanic that hasn't been utilized in Yu-Gi-Oh! For a very long time, for what I can remember. And basically, it would add a bit of comedy to the thing, because imagine Mr. Goha just like chucking a big dice or something, or a die, if you want to use that phrase. You know, they could add a bit of kind of goofiness to that scene, which would obviously add to his character that way. So for this though, each number would have to have a different effect that is designed to either hinder rush dueling as a concept, or the player's movements. So for this, the effects would have to happen at the end of Mr. Goha's turn, thus leaking in and following in to his opponent's next turn, basically. So here are a few ideas of what some of the effects could be. Number 1, your opponent can only draw a maximum of 2 cards. Okay. Number 2, your opponent, and I just realized I've spelled opponents wrong twice, so feel free to grill me in the comment section about that. Your opponent can only summon 2 monster cards at maximum. Increase your own life points by 1000. Number 4, deal 500 points to your opponent. I really can't spell the word opponent, can I? Number 5, remove 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard. Number 6, inflict 500 points of damage to yourself. Wow, a lot of spelling mistakes. I just realized as a recording, I'm keeping them in, because, you know, own up to your mistakes. So why did I choose these? Well, number 1 is to possibly hinder any comebacks. We've heard in 7s already that the fact you can draw back up to 5 cards in your hand means that you can create loads of combos and gives yourself more of a chance to get back into the duel, thus improving the chances of winning, basically. Only drawing 2 cards at most would hinder that. Number 2 hinders the summoning of level 7 or higher monsters. So basically, level 5 and level 6s are fair game, but unfortunately level 5s you cannot. Level 7s and above you cannot, because you need 2 monsters on the field already to basically tribute summon that, and level 7 or higher would be your 3rd card, unless you already have a monster on the field. Number 5 would basically mainly affect Yugioh, because Mr. Goha and the Goha Corporation have probably been monitoring the main 4 characters, and it's safe to assume that they know about 7 Rose Magician's effect, and obviously removing cards from your opponent's graveyard would obviously remove the attribute cards, thus weakening 7 Rose Magician. And then number 6 is basically just something to add a bit of risk to the user, as well as to add a comedic scene where like he gets shocked by himself and takes damage, just to give the kids a bit of a laugh. Now, this card doesn't sound like the most overpowered card created, but it does fit the theme of comedy and control, which so far Mr. Goha seems to be a character that always wants to be in control over any and all situations. So that's why I've kind of gone for this. As well as the fact is, it works again with the whole suppressing of rush duels. We've seen so far in 5 episodes that the Goha Corporation just wants to delete anything off the internet that is rush duel related, and this obviously helps bring the game closer to a full normal duel that we're all used to, where you have 5 monsters and 5 traps and you only draw once per turn. So when it comes to legend cards, I really struggled to think of one, if I'm honest with you. But I was thinking along the lines of Judgman for the legend card, simply because it ties in with the whole theme of rules and law, but it is pretty weak, meaning it doesn't really pose much of a challenge to our main heroes. But you may have a better idea for a Rush legend card, which you can tell me in the comment section below, along with all of your kind of, oh my god, you can't spell opponent, you're a scrub, or spelling mistake, you know, whatever that is. You can also say, hey, why don't he have this card instead? Interested to hear your thoughts. And then the last point that I'm going to basically mention, if he is going to be a goofy villain, then why couldn't he be in Arc 5? Can you imagine this character, you know, in action duels, basically rushing around, jumping, doing backflips and stuff, riding his own monsters to kind of get the action card? I think that'll be so funny, and I hope we can see a nod to Arc 5's action duels in here. You know, you see Mr. Goha's face on Yugioh here riding the hippo. It would be so much fun to see that. Action duels were pretty annoying, in my opinion, in Arc 5. I didn't like them that much. They were way too overused. But it would be fun just to see Mr. Goha do one anyway. So, that's basically it for the video. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it sparked a bit of your imagination to kind of get you thinking about what type of playstyle Mr. Goha could use himself. I'm sure you have plenty of ideas. If you do, let me know them down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them. But like always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. I will be doing streaming next week, I plan to do. So next Sunday. I'll put more information on my Twitter, which is linked in the description down below. So make sure you follow me there as well to stay up to date on all of that good stuff. But other than that, again, have a great day. Yeah. Alligator, matane, goodbye. How many times did I misspell the word opponent? Oh well.